Today I'm going to be talking to you about the second hotspot miner that I added to the Helium network, and it is the RAK Hotspot Miner V2, and I picked it up from CalChip. If you're not familiar with the Helium network, definitely take a look at my in-depth review video, and you will find that link right now in the top right corner. I received my first hotspot from Helium, hooked it up onto the network, was trying to basically understand what this was all about, and within a few days I kind of had my bearings and was starting to understand how this Helium network worked. I began mining some HNT rewards, was starting to get excited about this whole little venture, and even went ahead and added an external antenna in order to maximize my revenue, so to speak, in HNT rewards. If you're interested in checking out that video on my antenna installation, you'll find that link in the top right hand corner. By adding the external antenna, I definitely increased my HNT earnings, and I was able to witness other challenges that were occurring, some of them even up to 27 kilometers away. But unfortunately, there weren't any hotspots close enough to me that were able to witness my transmission. And if you know anything about the Helium network, that's where the good HNT rewards are earned. At this point, I basically had two choices. I either had to wait for one of my neighbors to add a hotspot that was able to communicate, let's say locally, with mine via RF technology, or sending the transmission back and forth via our antennas, or I had to go ahead and get my hands on another hotspot to be able to continue building my network so that the second hotspot can go ahead and speak with the first hotspot. I had noticed that Helium was no longer offering their initial hotspots, but they were recommending this RAK Miner V2 from CalChip. So I went ahead and placed my order. It was on back order for a while, but luckily it came in about a week ago, and I went ahead and installed it at a buddy of mine's location, which was approximately 1.2 miles away from my current hotspot location. Since it was a friend of mine's house, I wasn't going to go ahead and start poking holes in certain areas so that I could get the external antenna mounted. So I decided to just mount it as conveniently as possible for him on a window ledge and waited to see what would happen. This RAK miner, as well as all the other miners, need to sync to the Helium network, and that's a process that takes between 24 and 72 hours. But what I did notice with this RAK miner is that it took probably 1/3 the amount of time that the actual Helium hotspot took to be able to sync to the network. So I was actually able to start earning rewards much quicker than I did with the initial Helium hotspot. Now that could also very well be because I was already on the network and just adding a second hotspot, and possibly that makes the process go by that much quicker. I woke up the next morning, checked my wallet where the HNT rewards are stored. To my surprise and also delight, I had a bunch more HNT rewards in that wallet than I did before I went to sleep. And what was happening was that my initial hotspot was now communicating with the second hotspot, witnessing transmission, and making very good HNT rewards, and then reciprocating that, the second hotspot was communicating with the first hotspot, also witnessing events, doubling my production of HNT rewards. By itself, this RAK miner is already doing well and would pay for itself in basically no time. But being that my goal is to maximize these HNT rewards while I can, I'm going to go ahead and also add an external antenna to this RAK miner. So if you're interested in learning more about that, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification symbol, and as soon as that video goes live, you will be notified. I will place more information in my blog post, from purchase links to discount links, and a lot more specifications. So definitely take a look at that blog post. I will place the link in the comments field below. So bottom line, if you want to get involved with this Helium network, the people's network, definitely take a look at this RAK Hotspot Miner V2. It's highly recommended from the folks over at Helium. And as far as my experience with it so far, I definitely give it a thumbs up.